NFTs are dead. The party's over. The market's saturated with PFPs. Man, there are too many ape projects. Well, 5,000 apes just sold in 34 minutes for a price of 0.22 ETH. Hello, I'm Taj, digitally known as Tropic Vibes, the host of Nifty Business, where we highlight NFTs and explore Web 3.0 as we move from pure speculation to creating real-world value. So, on January 5th, the much-anticipated pre-mint for the Bulls and Apes project happened. I have covered this project extensively, so I'm not even going to go into the details of their lore, their background, or anything of that nature. Feel free to check up on episode number 169, 202, 229, and 373. I covered that project in all of those episodes. And just as a full disclaimer, I want to let you know that I own 2 OG Bulls, the methane tokens that were generated by holding it, and now I have an ape pass. So what exactly is this ape portal pass? So if you've been following the lore, that you know that the apes show up using this portal, this device that their leader opens up, and it helps them to travel from world to world that they go and conquer. On January 5th, they had a pre-sale which allowed people to purchase this portal pass. Now, when I actually went to the pre-sale, I thought we were going to be purchasing the apes itself and thinking, oh wow, we actually get a full month before the February 7th official public sale to have our apes and what have you. And of course, it says that the reveal won't be until it sells out and so forth. So I was thinking that we were going to get the unrevealed ape today. And then sometime after February 7th, we were going to get it. But it turns out that we actually got a pass. It's called an ape pass, or portal pass, I should say. Basically, it is a claim slip for when the actual public sale goes live that we redeem this sometime before that for an ape. But in addition to that, they had a whole bunch of fast action bonuses, if you will, if you were there live on that Twitter space. Because I spoke about this, I even tweeted about this, I shared it out and what have you, saying that they were getting ready to do a pre-mint space, reveal all the information for that. So if you weren't one who was actually there live and you saw all of this go down, this episode is for you. But I'm going to summarize everything that was really took place in that and led to the success of this mint. There's fast action bonuses, which would include anyone that actually minted one of these ape passes, which would allow you to get that ape once it minted. It would give you the OG ape roll in the Discord. Also, it would give you the random drawing for a teen and the very first God Bull that they ever gave away. If you don't know what those teen bulls are and the God Bulls, I highly recommend that you just listen to the other episodes where I cover that, or you just go to Bulls and Apes Project website and figure all of that out. They outline everything. I mean, their lore, their website is so detailed. Everything, their tokenomics is laid out. Frequently asked questions, you name it, it is all there. But since you're here, I have to answer the big question. People might be wondering, well, why are these apes even so special? There's so many ape projects. There's so many NFTs and PFPs. Why is this not just another one? Why is it that this thing is selling for 0.22 ETH in this market, and in 34 minutes, 5,000, which is half of the 10,000, were minted? Well, for starters, just like the Bulls, there is a 6-month ETH guarantee. Meaning that once these apes actually mint, the February 7th mint, not this particular portal pass, there is a 0.22 ETH redemption if anytime during that 6 months you want your ETH back. So in other words, since I minted that portal pass, when I redeem the ape in a month, 6 months from that point forward, I have the option to trade that ape back in to get my 0.22 ETH back. It was definitely a first of its kind when they did that with the Bulls, so now they have set that standard. It is just expected that they would do the same with the apes, and they did that. Besides that, these apes are going to be multipliers for the Bulls that generate methane token. Now, in that lore, it explains why this is, but long story short, as I said, I hold methane token is because I've been holding my Bulls since the mint. They've just been sitting in my wallet collecting tokens. You don't have to stake it onto any kind of platform or do anything. You just hold it and it generates. It's a beautiful thing. So they haven't really revealed how much it's going to multiply or how many apes per bull within the wallet that's going to cause you to get more methane tokens, but we know there's going to be some sort of effect on it. In addition to that, unlike the Bulls, which are all males because of course there's no female bulls, these apes come in both male and female. Not to mention that they are dynamic PFPs. So what exactly does that mean? a dynamic NFT has attributes that changes. I think the first one that I probably covered was the Chibi Friends, where based on how you play the game and you upgrade it from the baby, or I should say from the egg to the baby to the adult, the attributes and the clothing and all of those things change. Well, this one is going to be done a little bit differently because you're going to actually have an option as to select these attributes rather than it being totally random based on the performance in the game and the points that are being generated. They're actually going to be something called a loot box, and the loot box was actually one of the fast action bonuses that I did not mention earlier. Along with those other NFTs in that OG role, a loot box was something that was included with everyone that minted one of these passes. And within the loot box, it has these attributes. So as far as what the apes are wearing, their weapons, and so forth, they can change based on what's in the loot box. So once the apes actually do launch, there's going to be the ability to purchase these loot boxes. So we've been redeeming all of this meth. So what are we going to be doing with it? It's purchasing these loot boxes and all these other little trinkets and utility tokens that are within their ecosystem, but was specifically associated with the apes at this point are these loot boxes. So when we get the various weapons, we get the various clothing and attire and all of that stuff, you can configure it. And when you're doing that, it's going to dynamically change the ranking and the rarity of that NFT. So when you initially mint an ape, there's going to be that base rarity. But then if you put a whole bunch of rare attributes on it, such as the rarest hat, the rarest weapon, and so forth, the rarity is going to dynamically change. So you can have an ape that was ranked number, let's say 100, and you get it to be number 1. So that's going to be very interesting to see because it is going to be constantly changing. So you might be wondering, well, how is OpenSea and all these other rankers going to even figure out how that works? Well, that's the thing. It's not going to work because you're going to have to actually go directly to the Bulls and Apes Project's website in order to see where things are ranking because it is dynamically changing. And of course, all this data being pulled from all these different NFTs and attributes are not going to be able to be tracked using OpenSea or Rarity Tools or one of the other ones. So you have to check all this stuff on their website. So there is the base and then the loot attributes, and combining them is going to find its final rarity. And that makes a very interesting point when it comes to resale, because let's say you have the rarest ape. Well, how does that price on the market, knowing that, let's say, the rarest attributes from these loot boxes might not have been minted yet or applied to that ape? So let's just say who is ranked number 3 might find that they have the 2 rarest loot attributes that they then put on the ape. It's going to make it the most rare ape in combination. So it's very interesting. So when you're actually looking at the market, although I'm someone who often says that, well, rarity is sort of overrated, but there are people that want the rarest thing. They still want that number 1 rarity or the top 10% or whatever it is. So that's going to make the gamification of this whole thing very interesting. So it's pretty funny because I'm hearing a lot of people right now, they're trying to strategize and figure out exactly how they're going to get it. And people such as myself who have 2 bulls that are from the same guild. So I wasn't able to do the breeding program. Again, you have to listen to the lore and all the other episodes to really explain what that means. I have all this meth that is being produced and I haven't really been able to spend it until this point. However, now that these loot boxes are on the scene, this gives me something, the opportunity to buy it, get some attributes and what have you, and I'll be able to put them on my ape when it is finally revealed. Of course, I have to go redeem that, but it is interesting. So 5,000 NFTs in 34 minutes, I would say is a successful pre-sale. The team was saying that they were actually budgeting for 1,500. They did not expect it to go that well. Not to mention that well in only 34 minutes. So the pre-sale is officially over. However, there are actually going to be opportunities to be added onto the whitelist for when it goes to the public sale that you'll be able to get on there a little bit before it actually gets opened up to the general public. How did I hear about all of this is it's actually not by being a Bulls holder or being in the Discord. It was actually via the good old-fashioned email list. And I signed up for the Bulls and Apes email, and that is how I was able to find out about the pre-mint, be in that space, and of course, get that ape. And speaking of emails, I don't know if you noticed, but I have the Nifty Business Week, which is a newsletter that I am relaunching finally. You can get inside scoop and stories that I don't feature on these episodes. Please feel free to sign up to that at niftybusinessweek.com. But either way, I just want to thank you for taking time to listen to this as we're learning and building Web3 together. So until next time, later.